But I gained so much. Why they asked me to do this, I don't know. Is that okay? If we do it that way round? So let's start off with the yes or no's. If you press play, and then as soon as he's answered, press pause again, please. And these are all, you can only say yes or no to them, by the way. I was supposed to explain that to you both. So now that's okay. Move on to our rapid response section. Please only respond with a yes or no answer. Do you support the Gulf oil drilling moratorium?
No.
I don't know why we're even asking this one, but Candidate Villere, do you support the Gulf oil? Okay.
No.
There we go. Can we fix the state budget crisis without raising taxes?
Yes.
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 Do you support the Attorney General's challenge of the federal mandate to purchase health insurance?
Yes.
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 God, this is so nice. They're getting on so well. Will you pledge to use your position as Lieutenant Governor to promote limited government in the state of Louisiana?
Yes.
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 Do you believe the federal government uses funding to dictate policy on the local level?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You're only supposed to say yes or no.
Yes.
Should Louisiana receive a greater share of offshore drilling revenues?
Yes.
Let me repeat the question for our candidates because it cut out. Do you believe Louisiana should receive a greater share of offshore drilling revenues?
Yes.
Yes.
Should state higher education boards be consolidated?
Yes.
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 Okay. Do you believe the state budget has grown too quickly over the past 10 years?
Yes.
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 Do state revenues increase when tax rates decrease?
Yes.
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 Do you believe that the 17th Amendment reduced the ability of the states to defend their interests at the federal level?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And that
Sammy
concludes the question and answer section of our debate. I was starting to wonder, is it because we've no Democrats on the thing that they were all in agreement? I find it fascinating, by the way. Now we're going to allow each candidate, is it 2 minutes rebuttal? We're going to allow each of our candidates, and obviously Candidate Kershaw had longer time in his answers, so he won't be able to rebut because he couldn't be here today. So what we're going to ask is Candidate Dardenne and Candidate Villere to rebut, to chat about what's been said, and they're going to have 2 minutes. And are you going to be timing that again, Josh? If you watch Josh candidates, when he does that, it means 30 seconds. When he does that, that means 30 seconds left, if you watch Josh there. So let's start off, if you would, please, with Candidate Villere. Would you have 2 minutes for rebuttal?
Well, I'd like you to look at my record and look at where I stand. I want you to compare it with my opponents. I think the distinction's clear. If you believe that we should be taxed more, if you believe in bigger government, then the answer is vote for Dardenne. 50 of Mary Landrieu's biggest donors, they have given money to Jay Dardenne. So I think if you look at the difference, there's clearly a difference. I've been endorsed by Michelle Bachmann, the leader of the Tea Party caucus in Congress. If you consider yourself to believe as she does, if you believe that tax enough already, if you believe that small or limited government is good, if you believe you should serve the people, then choose me, Roger Villere. I have 5 ideas that I'd like to bring to the office of Lieutenant Governor. First, I want to limit the government's growth and the size of government. Second, I'm pro-life. Third, I believe in the responsibilities of the business community to create jobs, not the government. I'd like to help attract new business to Louisiana, but really I'd like to work with small business to grow the businesses that we have here, help them grow and prosper. Fourth, I would like to work to enforce the 10th Amendment, and I believe the federal government has overreached the powers as spelled out in the U.S. Constitution. As Lieutenant Governor, I will fight for the state's rights and all unnecessary federal mandates. Fifth, I will fight to eliminate the state income tax, a bigger economy, and more businesses to produce better and higher-paying jobs, and this will create more revenues for the state of Louisiana. The elimination of our state income tax will be an absolute winner for all the citizens of Louisiana and will give us the much-needed relief we need from excessive taxation. You know, Ronald Reagan said the problem is not that we're taxed too little, but the problem is that the government spends too much. If you believe that this is true, then you will like my approach to government. Vote for me, Roger Villere, Lieutenant Governor, on October 2nd.
Thank you, Candidate Villere. And Candidate Dardenne, you have 2 minutes for rebuttal.
The great Ronald Reagan also reminded us of the 11th commandment, not to speak ill of your Republican opponents, Mr. Chairman. And thank you, Mr. President, for your conduct of this, this discussion today. He didn't hear my line, but I'm glad to hear that 50 of Mary Landrieu's donors have seen fit to contribute to my campaign. Frankly, I didn't know that, but I'll tell you that I've had thousands of people contribute to my campaign from virtually every parish across this state, Republicans and Democrats and no party members, because they believe and they know that I'm the best person for this job. They have watched me perform in the red-hot light of public scrutiny for 20 years, with a green button and a red button on my desk as a state legislator, having to make decisions, having to make tough decisions, some that you've not been able to make yet. And when you make those decisions, you do so based upon what you believe is in the best interest of the people of this state, and that's what I have done. A record of integrity, a record of effectiveness, a record of progress for Louisiana, reducing taxes. Look at them, the death tax, the gift tax, the inventory tax, the corporate franchise tax, when we're able to do so in an appropriate and responsible manner. That's what you have to do when you set policy. The state income tax is literally 1/3 of the state's general fund. So let's make sure we know how we're going to be able to fund things if we don't have it anymore. Let's look at everything. I'm for looking at every tax and cutting it responsibly with a plan to make certain that we do it responsibly where we can account to the people of Louisiana. Remember, we're in competition with 50 states as the state of Louisiana. We have the greatest natural resources and the greatest people in the United States of America. We love each other, we love our land, and we've got a great story to tell. And keep that in mind. That's what this job is about. This job is about telling Louisiana's story to the rest of the nation. Everything that's great about the diverse cultures of Louisiana, let me tell it.
I want to thank Candidate Kershaw, Candidate Villere, Candidate Dardenne so much for your candidacies and for your passion for the great state of Louisiana. It's absolutely obvious, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? And I think we all need to thank them for participating in this fantastic debate. I do want to thank you very much indeed. Now, I know many in the audience are eager to speak to you, so if you would please, hang around, get to meet everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, I do want to remind you there are tables up here that we'd like you to visit. It's been my pleasure, by the way, getting to meet you and to know you. And to the audience, might I just make an observation? May I make an observation? When I was invited to the Tea Party, I can't help, the question begs, where is the tea? Don't you agree? It's like they've got water at the back. Hey, folks, I do. I want to thank you for attending this debate. I want to thank you for your commitment to Louisiana and for your involvement in the election process. On the Around Town show, we beg people to get out there and vote because it's such a privilege that people around the world don't enjoy. I think our founding fathers, I was standing here thinking about this, I think if they walked in the room right now, apart from them being amazed we've got electricity, I think they'd be really impressed of our electoral process and the fact that of our adherence to the Constitution. It does not make you proud, doesn't it? Don't you feel proud today? Now, when is the election, Candidate Villere?
October 2nd.
October 2nd. You're never going to believe what I have written down here. November 3rd. I don't know where that came from. So October the 2nd, get out there. It's the greatest privilege and responsibility we have as Americans. Thank you all for being part of this Lieutenant Governor candidates debate hosted by the Baton Rouge Tea Party. Thanks also to First Co. television production company of Baton Rouge. This debate will be aired on television and it will be online, I think as of tomorrow, on the Baton Rouge Tea Party's website. Just like I feel with the pledge that I mean it every time I say it, I mean this when I say to you, God bless each of you and God bless America. My name is Scott Rogers. Thank you so much indeed.